Yo guys, what's going on? It's BurkCrown88 and I'm going to come at you with a video here today about not missing out and not losing coins because of things that are happening. For instance, we've got the double shift behind us. We've got a new event with 95 overalls. However, people's teams are absolutely stacked. And with that, events come out that you're just not excited about. So let's say your team looks like mine right here, right? It's nothing special. There are a ton of players with a ton of 99 fantasy cards that I don't have that they do have, so they're in even more of a bind than I am. Or if you built a ton of team of the years, X Factors, or team of the seasons, you're in a bind where you've got nowhere for players to go. So this is where I don't want you missing out, right? So I have these cards. This is my team. So the 95 MSPs, I'm not gonna lie, don't excite me because they're not gonna improve my team. Same with the defense. Unless it's a name that I really want, like I would love to get Bryan McCabe, but for the cost, I'm not going to get rid of Victor Hedman, Megan Keller, or Nick Lindstrom. So Bryan McCabe, unfortunately, doesn't excite me. Now, this is what I wanted to talk about. So the cards to get are 92 overalls and 92 random. So event 92s and random 92s. And the 90s, you need to make them. But however, to get those 90s, as we do know from following the track record of how they're doing MSPs, 88 overall cards isn't what you need. Well, this made 87s irrelevant, right? 87s used to have a little bit of coin value, but now they don't because they're not used for anything at all, right? You have no purpose for an 87, at least as of right now, so they're useless. And with that being said, everybody that had all these 87s, they now have no coins. And this is what I want to point out. This is where I don't want you to drop the ball or miss the ball or however you want to word it. Don't lose coins, all right? If your team is stacked and you have no interest in this event, sell your 88s. Sell your 88s. And the reason I'm going to say that is because, one, they're not going to take a crazy jump, right? This event and next event will be 95 overalls, and they will take 88s to make. But if you are not interested in these 95s because they're not good enough to make your team, you won't be interested in the next event. You are simply waiting for the 96 MSPs to come out where you're going to need 89s. So keep your 89s and start hoarding your 89s and get rid of your 88s. Because what you're going to notice here is there's only 24 cards up between 88 and 89 that are under 88,000 or 8,800. And they're both 88s and 89s. So if you have 88s, this is where I want you to sell your 88s. I want you to sell all the 88s you have and take those coins and buy 89s, because the next MSP is going to come out. You're going to need 88s, yes, but they're going to be 95 overalls. Maybe that doesn't excite you. So what you're going to do is, in my opinion, we're gearing up and we're heading into the awards, right? We're going to come to a point where we hit the awards event, and the awards event I think is going to be our first 96 overall, and with that you're going to need 89 cards to build them. So I suggest, this is what I'm going to be doing over the next month while I get ready for awards, because it's going to take 2 events to get there, is I am going to be selling all of my 88s, and I'm going to sell those 88s for the 8,700 as you see here, and then I'm going to buy 89s for the 8,700. Now, how's that going to benefit me is I'm going to be turning 88s in for value to exchange them value for value to an 89. And that way, when the next event comes out that's 96 overall, whatever it is, whatever the next event, like the next event that comes out that's 96 overall, right? We're going to have the double shifts at 95. We're going to have whatever the next event is at 95. And then we're going to have the event after that at 96. So I have all this time to convert my 88s, which you're getting from the XP path, into 89s for the exact same price. Because here's what's going to happen. When the 89 set comes out to make the MSP, much like every card in the game, the 87s have turned into nothing. You can't even get 2,000 coins for an 87, which is tough, yes. But just a couple of days ago, you could get 5,500 coins for an 87, 4,500 coins for an 87 because they were in the MSPs. They were required to build the MSPs. And that is going to be the exact same that happens to 88s. 88s, when the 96s come out, the 88s are going to drop down and match the 87s where they're 1,800 coins because there's no use for them. and the 89s are going to have the value. Now we have to keep up with this trend all year, right? We have to keep up with this trend where eventually the 89s will have no value, and eventually the 90s will have no value, and the 91s will have no value. It's the way it's going. It's this MSP set they have built. It's the system they've built. It's how they're sticking it out, it looks like, for this year at least. And with that being said, you can make your coins off of staying ahead of it. So you're not going to worry so much about the event we're in. You're going to worry about the event we're going to. And how you're going to do that is you're going to sell your 88s when they're at their highest price, and then you're going to buy 89s. And then you're going to take those 89s and build the MSPs at the 96 overalls you want, right? But then what you're going to do is you're going to start selling your 89s after you've done everything you wanted to do. You built the MSP you wanted, say you have 10 89s left. You're going to sell those 89s and you're going to buy 90s. Because what you have now done is you got the best MSP, the 96 overall, and then you're also preparing for the next 97 MSP to make your team better. Nothing has changed with this system. Nothing at all. This is the exact system that they've been using all year. So it's the way it's going to be. We know it's the way it's going to be. And this is how we can get ahead of events, make coins off the current event, and prepare for the next event. And I know that sounds bad right now. You're like, oh, I'm not going to get to upgrade my team right now. But what you're doing is you're setting yourself up to always be ahead, right? If you get ahead for the next event, when that next event drops, you have everything you need to build it, and then you start getting ahead for the next 97 overalls. That's how that kind of works. That's how we're going to have to do this from now on. And next year, if they keep this same system, which I hope they don't, this system is not working. It's a terrible system. It makes MSPs way too expensive, and it makes people not want to do them. So I hope they don't do this system. But if this is the system they do, it is how we're going to have to look at going forward in the future. But please let this not be the system they do. So with this team that I have in front of you, it's a pretty decent team, and none of these new MSPs make it. Next week's MSPs might come out. I might change my mind. Maybe there's a name out there that I like. Maybe I want somebody. Maybe we get Roman Yossi as a double shift player. Who knows? But with that being said, as of right now, they don't excite me. Even if they did, like the Brian McCabe, I don't have a spot for them. So I might as well start gearing up and getting ready for the 96 overall cards, because maybe one of them will make my team, and we'll go from there, right? Because my defense on the right-handed side could use some help. So a 96 would go a long way, and if I can get ready for it and start preparing, that means I can get an MSP without having to put money in the game, which is sometimes the goal of it all, is to see if you can get an MSP just by playing the game. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, give it a big old thumbs up. And leave in the comment section down below if you've already been doing this, or if you're going to start doing this to save yourself some money by not losing money, or I guess coins, by not losing coins, by not waiting until the cards are useless. Remember, we got to get ahead of it. If you wait for the 87s to be irrelevant, you're going to get no coins for them. But if you had have sold your 87s before this event dropped, hindsight 2020, we can't now, but what we can do is sell our 88s and buy 89s to get ahead, because 89s are the same price as 88s, and they'll be used for the 96 overalls. But thank you guys. I hope you did enjoy it. Remember to stay ahead, make those coins, and until next time, ciao, ciao.